Yes, Kingsley, about your migration journey. I understand that you were born here in Australia, but you drifted away, but left the country for some time. What is it? Can you share some of those insights?
Yeah, I was born in Australia. At the time when I was growing up as a little kid, I was subject to the White Australia policy. And this caused me to...
White Australian policy, when was that?
Oh, that was up till 1972. The White Australia policy essentially meant that we were second rate. There was an Immigration Restriction Act where we were limited to come into Australia by being a different race.
But you were born in Australia, wouldn't you get citizenship by then?
Yeah, it's not so much that. The fact that they had that approach to all immigrants coming into the country, it affected me in a way that I was looked at as a second-rate citizen all of my life. And I think other people out there would be able to resonate with that. And to be discounted and marginalised, and more difficult to get a job, more difficult to be selected to become a prefect and the head of the class, that sort of thing. These were things that affected me growing up in Australia. As a consequence, after I graduated, and I did work as an engineer for some time, I then went to Canada.
At what age?
I was 24 when I went to Canada. And I actually, as I said, emigrated there because I didn't feel quite right living in Australia. I felt that why was I so different and why did I feel the way I did, and I couldn't find an answer to it. So I was one of the very few people that did this. I don't think there was anyone else I knew that actually got round to doing this. And so by going to Canada, it opened up a whole new world. And for the next 17 years, I did a number of things. One was I did learn the Chinese language. I went to Taiwan to study. I studied another degree there, and I learnt the Chinese language. It was the most difficult thing for me to do, being a native English speaker learning Mandarin language, to read and write in traditional characters. Chinese. And then I went over to Hong Kong, and I actually started to discover I was doing a lot better. I was being accepted for myself, and I had to learn Cantonese when I was in Hong Kong, and I did very well. And I ended up being as a director of a public listed company, and I ended up running the European operations of an investment bank. So I was doing pretty good by that stage, and it was something that I don't think that could have happened to me in Australia. However, after 17 years and having a banking career that went to other places in the world, I did come back to Australia. And when I came back, I had the confidence to do something with what I knew. And when I was there, after a couple of years back in Australia, I was able to engineer a takeover of a stockbroking firm. It was the first Asian stockbroking firm in Australia, and I was one of the first Chinese members of the stock exchange. It's a very difficult thing to do those days because you wouldn't get that sort of opportunity those days. So that was my immigration journey. I was also much lucky later in life to meet up with the former Attorney General, Jeff Shaw, with whom I set up a law firm. And he passed away, but I still run that law firm today. It's quite a well-known law firm, and we do a lot of good in the community. So that's my immigration journey. I went outside to come back in.